to be, it doesn't have to be that perfection.
Agreed. That's precisely what we're going to talk about. What's up, everybody? It's Barrett, and I'm here with... Oh, this thing doesn't spin anymore. The best production. There it is.
The best production.
The best. Yeah. The best compliment I ever got is you have the best information with the worst production value. And I'm like, sweet.
As a friend, I would agree on both.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I agree on both.
So, Dr. Trevor, the Angry Viking Therapist, and we're here in Nashville. There's a Stop the Bleed class going on inside of there. We're at a shooting range, so please excuse any shots you hear in the background. We're fine.
We're good.
We're fine. Most of the reason I'm here, frankly, was I was like, I want to go hang out with my bro. And you're my bro.
Same.
So we're here chilling. We were just talking inside and about life and everything, and kind of what you're known for is getting your mindset right. And I think, we talk about skill set, heart set, mindset here when it comes to preparedness, but there's so much of life is so much bigger, or at least should be so much bigger than preparedness. Like diet and exercise, that's a mindset thing. Because if your mindset isn't right, then you're definitely not going to do it. It's not going to get out of your brain into your hands and your heart. Faith is a mindset thing. If you don't choose this day who you will serve, right? And so I guess my question for you would be is where do you see people falling flat on their face when it comes to mindset?
So, man, what a cool question, because the mindset is the umbrella, right? That is the thing that people are falling flat on.
By the way, you had no idea I was going to ask you this.
I didn't even know you hit record yet.
Right, exactly. I like ambushing people.
Yeah, I did not know. So it's a great question because it is that, right? That's the umbrella. The mindset is what has to change. It's the everything, between the stimulus and the response is the mindset. Things that happen don't cause us emotions. They just don't. They impact us, yes. When bad things happen, good things happen, they certainly impact us. But the level of that impact is through my mindset. The level of that impact has to be filtered through my basic beliefs to get me to the emotion at the end. Between the stimulus, the thing that happened, is the response. A famous Viktor Frankl saying, a man that survived internment camps, Nazi internment camps. So, but I've had to embody that, and there's lots of different people saying that. I mean, one of my favorite things that somebody said the other day, you were just talking about the production value, one of my favorite things that people tell me is, you're saying the same thing as all the other mindset people. Yeah, we've all been saying it for thousands of years. It's called philosophy. We've all been saying it for thousands of years, but A, you're not listening, and B, some of us have a different way to say it.
Yeah, well, and that's, first of all, agreed. The messenger oftentimes matters, because I get people who are like, Barry, you say the same stuff over and over again. It's like, you want me to lie to you, make up some new stuff? And I'm very honest about this. I only got so many moves.
Yeah.
They're basic moves, right? And it's, I've only got so many moves. Yeah, and when you say something, it might take the 1,000th time of saying something to somebody that it clicks.
For sure.
They get it. And if you'd only said it 999 times, that one person might not have gotten it. And you're here to help people. I'm here to help people. There's, this is, and I get all the time too, people are like, you're just on YouTube to make money. It's like, you should see the pittance that Google sends me. If you think that my time is best spent making YouTube videos, you're out your damn mind. It's not for that. It's to help people be better. And I think that's why you and I just enmeshed so quickly, so well, because there's alignment with our core values and goals. And you said earlier, mindset is the thing in between the stimulus and the response. And I know you talk about a lot about founding your thoughts in truth, right? And you talked about that at Arming the Saints, of something can suck, and it's true that it sucks, right? But if we don't have, and we still deal with that, it's not that this thing doesn't suck. It does. Yeah, it sucks. There's better and worse ways to deal with it. I guess what I'm saying is, can you talk about some of the detrimental value of having thoughts that aren't founded in truth, and how that gets people off course?
Yeah. So not founded in truth is what we consider irrational. Now, irrational doesn't mean dumb or stupid or made up or weak. We're good. It doesn't mean dumb or stupid or weak or made up, or it just means not based on evidence, right? So what is the number one thing that comes from irrational thinking? What comes from the irrational thinking is emotion. Emotion.
What's up, bro?
So I'm taking over now.
No,
so,
you're good.
what comes from that is the irrational thinking is the emotion. And the problem is there are good emotions, right? Love's a good emotion, but let's be fair. Love's kind of a irrational emotion too. It makes us do things that maybe we shouldn't have done because of lovey-doveyness, or because maybe we thought we loved somebody and it actually wasn't really love, right? So even the good ones, but especially the bad ones that everybody talks about, anxiety, depression, guilt, anger, right? You know, my favorite one, anger, the one I'm really good at and have to work on, right? That's why we connected. That those come from irrational thoughts, not made up, not dumb. It's just things not based on evidence. So, if something happens to me and I have an irrational belief about that, then when it's not based on evidence, then I'm going to have an irrational or unhealthy or dysfunctional emotion about it. I made a story reel the other day on my Instagram about I woke up is one of the snowstorms a couple of weeks ago where I live, and woke up and the heater wasn't working, and I just dumped a bunch of money into a new heater. So I'm not in a good place when this happens. And I get up and it's the thermostat, it's flashing weird, and I think, oh, it's battery. The thing runs, it's got a battery backup. It just must be time. So I changed the battery, and then it said low battery. And I thought, this is not what electronics supposed to do. And then it started flashing, and I started saying some things to it because inanimate objects will respond to what you tell it to do.
Speaking kindly to it, I'm sure.
There were no bad words at all. But what I wanted to do, the guy I call Angry Trevor, kind of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Angry Trevor, I would have put my fist through that thermostat and through the wall and still had to pay for a new one.
Yep.
Dr. Trevor, I'm not going to say I was happy, fake happy or calm. I don't believe in fake positivity. I do believe in a positive mental attitude will get you somewhere once you get there, once you figure out how to get it. But I still had to fight it. I still had to fight the need to put my fist through that thermostat. But turns out I got on YouTube and figured out how to change the thermostat, and I learned a new skill. And I wanted to be doing other things that day, but I learned a new skill, and then my heater turned on. and we've all done it. We've either put our hand through the wall or slammed the door or broken something or kicked it across the room or thrown that expensive thing that we swore that we'd always take care of. And what do we do afterwards? We feel a little bit better for about 10 seconds. Because I, by gosh, got it out. That's what we tell ourselves.
And then I'm ashamed after that. I'm like,
then I feel this big.
Like that was not.
That
was not husband mode or dad mode or respectable human being mode. That was bear mode. That was a problem. Shouldn't have done that.
I tell people all the time when you're creating mental health website. So I do have a private practice that's kind of, my bread and butter. That's what I started out doing. And when I was building that private practice, kind of the more traditional therapy role, they tell you put pictures on your website that are the end goal. Families holding hands running through sunflower fields, and dads playing Uno with their kids. And I get it, it's salesmanship, right? The idea is that you go on that website and you're like, I want that. I want to join this guy because I want to do that, right? What I put on there was a painting that I found, and it was a guy with his head in his hand like this. And I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I know that's me 5 minutes after putting my hand through the wall.
Right. Right. How to not be that guy.
There you go. Don't be that guy.
The art of not being that guy.
Well, it's the Angry Viking Therapist because I have to work on my Angry Viking side.
Right, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, we just had a guy earlier who was like, I thought you'd be bigger in person. And I'm like, yeah, that's not why they call me Bear. That's not why they call me Bear. Not that I'm tiny, but, that's not why they call me Bear.
However, ironically, I knew you for months through the computer, sitting down in front of a camera, both of us communicating. Turns out I was shorter than you when we met. If you hadn't noticed.
I can do this if you wanted to. So I'm here with Robert Oberst, and who is a beast, by the way.
He is a beast. Ironically, I have a shirt on today, but I do comb my beard a little more than he does.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people lamenting the loss of my beard lately, and I'm like, simmer, bro, it'll be back.
Well, I am sad for that because you are a beard guy, but I have also known you long enough to know about 30 days. You're good.
Give it time. It'll be back. It's funny though when I post like, cause we have curated content, cause I'm big into batching. And so I'll batch a bunch of content because again, getting back to time demands, I'll batch a bunch of content and people are like, oh, you recorded this before you shaved your beard. Cause it's like, it's not, you know, I don't look like this anymore. So it's fine. And I think people tend to feel almost like I cheaped out on them because I pre-recorded the content.
Yeah.
And it's like, I took the same amount of time. I dropped the same amount of knowledge that I had on the subject.
I haven't changed my mind since.
That's what
I haven't changed my mind.
If something changed, I will let you know.
Yeah.
But no, it's standalone content. So, you know, and that the mindset, bringing it back around to like things that actually matter to the viewer. The mindset, I think, is really key. You know, we talk about on our channel how you have to identify goals. Like, what are your goals? If you don't know what the target is, 100% chance you're not going to hit it, right? Like you're not going to get there. So you at least have to identify what the target is. And then if you were going to put this into like military terms, you know, you come up with a firing solution. How are we going to get the targets a mile that way? Well, we know, well, 223 is out, 5.56 is out. Now we're talking 338 or, you know, 50 cal or whatever. Come up with a firing solution, but that's never going to happen if you don't know what the target looks like. So step one, identify the target, and then we can reverse engineer. We can come up with a firing solution about how do we actually hit that target. Big part of hitting that target once it's identified is the discipline and the mindset to actually enact the plan, enact the firing solution. Because I think a lot of people come up with a target. I want to be 50 pounds lighter or run faster or earn more money or whatever. It's like, I want a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's going to happen if I don't put in the effort and if I don't have the mindset to stick with it. And I've also found mindset wise is like, it's not just a tool that helps move me forward. It's a tool that helps me in the moment not fall backwards.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what it's all about is of course you're going to fail at the mindset. Of course you're going to fail. I do this for a living. Every day I'm thinking about mindset, and every day, every waking moment of my day that's not spent on family or important things is thinking about how do I move this mindset into people's lives, right? How do I help them understand not what I've got perfect. I don't have it perfect. And I know you claim the same. Oh, I don't have it perfect. I just found a really good firing solution, right? To use your term. I found a really good firing solution that has propelled me forward from this place that I wasn't going to last anymore.
Right.
I wasn't going to last as that guy anymore. I was in a deep, dark pit of anger and hatred and depression, and I've talked about that on my videos. Not to rehash the story all the time, but because I want people to know that I've been there. I was there, and yes, there were steps to getting out. There were steps to getting the mindset. But it was mindset. It was mindset. The same thing happens to everybody out there. And you talked about goals. When people start with the mindset coaching, when they sign on and we get them hooked up with the app, the first thing that the app does is, which we use to communicate with each other as coach and client, that we use to constantly impress things upon you, to track those goals. You get a welcome message that tells you how to get around, of course, right? Because we need that. But the very next thing that happens is, what are you here for? Like, what are your goals? And I don't care. People come on and they have goals of weight loss. They have come on and they have goals of muscle gain, right? They come on and they have goals of just eating better or feeling better. They have goals of, I'm tired of my kids being scared of me. They have goals of, I'm tired of my wife, not feeling like she has a husband. And everything's falling apart. I need to quit drinking. I need to stop doing this. I need to quit being late to work. I was thinking on the way here this morning, if you're the person that is 6 minutes late every day, right? If you're 30 minutes late a day, something probably happened. Flat tire, car trouble, snowstorm, whatever. If you're the guy that's 6 minutes late every day, that's your 6 minutes, right? If you're tired of being 6 minutes late every day, you have to stop doing what you're doing and do something else. If you want a different result, you're going to have to daily do something else. And that is mindset. You can't just say, well, I definitely need to get up 6 minutes earlier. because guess what you do tomorrow? I can sleep for 6 more minutes. This is awesome. It's warm in here. It's great. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic, philosophers who I read daily. I read daily Stoic philosophy, and especially him. He even talks about, he uses, older terms like bedclothes, which we may not use anymore. But, he's in his bedclothes, and here's this emperor, this emperor who is strong and powerful and can literally say, go do this for me, and people go do it. He doesn't want to get out of his bed because he's warm in his bed in his bedclothes. I'm like, well, if he can't do it by willpower alone,
right?
Who am I? Who am I? And so, but it is the mindset, right? When I started getting my mindset better, one of the things that you and I share, even though it may not be for everybody, but I think it should be, is we are up way before the sun comes up. Why? Not because I'm cooler, not because I have too much to do. We do have too much to do, but that's our own self-creation by irons in the fire, right? We admit it. But I get up at 4:30 in the morning because I get up, I get my, whatever my pre-workout's going to be, whether it's pre-workout drink, whether I get fast-acting proteins in me, and then I don't work out yet. I read for 30 minutes. I read for 30 minutes to get this going the right way so that I can go to the gym and do that. And yeah, there's some truth to I like being at the gym by myself early in the morning, and I have to wait for things. But man, when I go to work, when I go to the traditional office at 9, half of my day's already done.
That's exactly right.
I'm done already.
I've pissed a few people off by saying I get more done before sunup than most people get done in a day, and unfortunately, that's true. And those people that aren't doing much throughout their day could certainly benefit from this mindset. But it's
well, and I remember there's a famous podcaster, most of you will probably know, because we all kind of all the same mindset, kind of attract the same people. And he posts every day his watch at 4:30 in the morning. He's getting up and getting it done. All right, I was gonna let you say it. Yeah. 4:32 in the morning.
Excuses are lies.
Yeah. And I used to look at that and think, I could do the same thing at 6:30, dude. Like,
right.
I can get it in. I can even squeeze it in before work. And then I had to start backing it up because my workouts would get longer, my reading would get longer. That's what usually messes me up. I kind of forget to go, and I'll be reading, and so I have to keep backing it up. And now that I'm a 4:32 guy, I'm like, I could not do anything else. But this.
And that's one of the things that I like about you that we were talking about earlier inside. And this is a completely impromptu video, which I love, is what makes you work for everybody else, for the right subset of the population, is that you're relatable. You were talking about how I could be posting pictures on Instagram of being super swole and super rigid meal plan. Not that guy, right? We're normal people that have figured out one piece of this puzzle that we call life, right? And I think that's what makes you relatable. The fact that, because of you, newsflash everybody, I've done EMDR because of you, and I needed it. I needed it to unpack a bunch of stuff that was inside of here that was killing me slowly that I wasn't even aware of. And I would have never even considered it if it wasn't for you. But because of you, I went and did that, and it's been night and day for me. And there's that relatability and that approachability, and the fact that you don't have to be, what's the standard model for having a great Instagram page? It's be 24 years old and beautiful, right? It's well, that's never gonna happen here. You know what I mean?
There's no filter for us.
No
filters.
No, I was thinking about the puppy dog ears one, but probably not gonna do that.
But somebody's gonna Photoshop that on us now.
Please, Bear Independent, admin at Bear Independent, send it. But the point being that relatable proves that it's attainable, right? Because not all of us are born with perfect genetics and a mountain of motivation, right? Which gets back to that mindset of okay, how am I going to navigate this thing that I call life? And at least for me, not fall backwards when I come up against these hurdles and these roadblocks, not go back to bear mode, because bear mode puts me as that guy with his hand in his head man, I'm ashamed of the fact that that ever even happened, right?
Well, and a lot of the reasons I post that stuff, whether it is, eating correctly, whether it is lifting. I'm a heavy lifter. I don't know about running. I can't tell you about running. I think those people need their head examined. Sorry, but I can't tell you about that. I literally. I'm horrible at it. I sound like an elephant coming down the road. You got those runners that are, like almost on their toes, and a gazelle. I'm like a tank that's running into trees, as I go down the road. So I just don't know about that. So why I post things that may not even be large sections of my life, like eating correctly and and working out, but what I do know is mindset. That is my life,
right?
That is what carries me from waking up to going to sleep, is mindset. Because I know if I don't have the right mindset, not fake positivity, if I don't have the right mindset, the world's going to crush me. It's going to crush me. And while yes, I post those things because I have a drive and desire to give that to other people, because it saved my life.
Right.
It is why I'm here today, is learning this, and I want to give that forward to people. But I continue to post as well because you're watching, and if I keep doing that, then I'll keep doing that. There is a small section, of course, of people, and we know all too well, that are just watching, waiting for us to fail, or they hit the thumbs down before they even see the video, right? So there's those goofballs, right? But I don't do it to beat my enemies. I do it because I want you to have it, and because I have to keep posting it, or I'll go back to where I was.
Amen. How much and I guess we'll wrap with this, how much of the mindset is rooted in, for you and in general, because you've got fancy letters after your name, I do not, how much of that mindset is tied to a sense of purpose? Because for me, a sense of purpose, like, why am I here, which I back up with a mission statement for my life, and then I can measure my activities against the mission statement for my life. And so if it doesn't support the mission statement, why am I doing this? For those that don't know, to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. And so we have different tools in our toolkit for that. We have Bear Independent from the preparedness side, and the spiritual side. We have, Refuge Medical with first aid kits. We have Refuge Training, teaching right now people how to use them. We have Grindstone Ministries, which is a construction ministry, and now is building facilities for the rescue and rehabilitation of trafficking survivors. Like, all of that facilitates the saving of lives, and depending on the application, I can use the different tools in my toolkit to hit it. But my sense of purpose is fulfilled by having that mission statement, which then gets me into that mindset of, and I can weigh my options of, should I do A or B? Which one is better which one is more in line with the mission statement? Am I unique in that? Is there, how does that work?
So yes and no on the uniqueness. You're unique in it in the area that more people need to do it, right?
Okay.
That unfortunately people don't.
Okay.
Right? But a lot of that mindset is exactly what you're saying, because again, mindset without it is fake positivity, right? And here's how I describe positive psychology and why I don't subscribe to it is, we can probably come up together with 5 things you like about yourself, even at your darkest, some things you do okay, that your wife says you do fine, and that that you provide financially, for whatever. We can come up with 5 things you like. We'll put on 5 post-it notes and put them around your mirror. And when you get dressed in the morning, you're like, yeah, look at that, I'm awesome, man. I'm gonna go kick ass today. And then you got to your truck and the battery's dead, and you're like, screw the world again. It doesn't really work. So mindset has unfortunately kind of become a popular idea. But without the goal, without the drive, without the need for something greater, your mission statement's great. That without having that, then maybe you have positivity, maybe you're doing better, but do you really have a better mindset, and are you really achieving anything from it? Again, one of the first things people get asked when they start coaching with me is, what are you doing here? And the neat thing, one of the things I try to impress upon people that come in is, is this isn't a 90-day goal. We'll make it a 90-day goal if you want. But I bet you money that if you work hard on this and you do the things that I know that I've put together that's going to help you, in 30 days, you already have a different goal.
Yep.
So it's flexible. Literally, I ask you once a week, what's the goal? Is it diet? Is it weight loss? Is it mindset? Is it athleticism? Is it I need to do better at business, so I need to make 5 new contacts at work?
Right.
You know, and I know that I've said twice now that a lot of times those start with that nutrition and wanting to feel better, wanting to physically present yourself better. Because unfortunately the world does judge that. Whether it's fair or not, the world does judge some of your ability on not whether you're necessarily ripped and have abs, but do you look like you know what you're talking about?
Yep.
Right? Do you look like you know what you're talking about? So it does a lot of times start with that, but I can't think of one coaching client of mine in the mindset program that keep the goals more than 30 days. Maybe they're hanging on to them. Maybe they're still improving inch by inch. But 30 days later, they're like, wait, I feel so good, and I'm getting up, and I'm feeding my mindset, and I'm putting the right things in, and I just noticed over 30 days I'm treating my kids better.
Yep.
And so now the goal is, how do I spend more time with my kids? How do I balance better? How do I balance life? How do I balance? The not just physical appearance, but feeling better often draws people into getting started, because that's something you can change right now. Right now, listening to this on your way to McDonald's, right?
You
can do something else. You
don't
can change
do
it. You can change it, and it's not as hard as you think it is. But it's not diet and exercise. It's lifestyle change to change your lifestyle. That's it. Yeah. So you do. You gotta have the aiming point. Absolutely.
Dr. Trevor, the Angry Viking Therapist. You're on YouTube.
I am on YouTube. It's Dr. Trevor, the Angry Viking Mindset Method.
Okay.
Instagram is where I post most stuff more quickly because of the nature of it, and it's just at Dr. Trevor Wilkins, Doctor's DR. So DR, Trevor Wilkins, no spaces, nothing like that. And at a minimum, that will kind of send you to everything else, or just go to my website, avt.help.
Cool.
Or the angryvikingtherapist.com, but the easy one's avt.help, HELP. And let's get going. I've got you. Let's go.
Awesome. I'm glad I drove out here to Nashville area.
I'm glad you did too.
Yeah. Cool, man. Bless y'all. Hey, down in the comments, I need y'all to tell me, what did you find valuable about this? What specific node or area of the conversation was the most helpful to you? Let us know, and this is not going to be the last time I see y'all. So next time we get together, we know what we're going to talk about next. Shoot us a comment down below.
28 minutes and 1 second. Now we have to start over.
Bless y'all. Shalom.